Hi guys, Chris and PJ here live in the Dream Giveaway Garage.
Hello, Christopher. It's a Tuesday here in the garage.
And now,
No fishing. Title work, a lot of title work with
oh,
these
there
cars.
you go. Yeah, because you got to make sure those titles are ready to put in all those winners' names.
That's right. That's right.
That is so cool. Hey, we have a special guest here in the Dream Giveaway Garage. Well, he's not physically here, but appearing through the magic of technology. And so I'd like to introduce our audience today to Matt McGivern of Spark Virtual Racing. Matt, are you out there?
I am here, Chris. Can you hear me?
I can hear you great. Thank you so much. You know, Matt, we've known about your company, talking behind the scenes about the great technology that you use for racing simulators. And that's why I'm standing in front of our two favorite race vehicles here in the Dream Garage. Over here, of course, that Cadillac CT4V Blackwing. And over here, the Hellcat Jailbreak, 807 horsepower. Matt, you got a favorite between the two of these?
I personally do. I'm a Cadillac fan. My daily driver is a stick shift Cadillac, so I have my eyes on the Blackwing.
There you go. And you're allowed to enter. So get those entries at dreamgiveaway.com. So this is so interesting. You know, when I was growing up, technology for simulators was this little orange or yellow sort of gobbly thing that would eat dots on a video screen, right? And it has come, or shooting asteroids, and it has come a long ways. Now, I am not in any way implying that the level of technology that you use for these racing simulators is a video game, but why don't you tell us where the racing simulator kind of genre started? Maybe I'm completely wrong. Did they start with video games, or was it something completely different?
They started in a few different areas. So there's, of course, the early adopters that were digging into simulators 25, 30 years ago. And then it made its, I'll call it, debut in the mainstream with some of the video games that are 15, 20 years old. Nowadays, there are console games that are racing style, and you can have a steering wheel and pedals. And the side that we exist on at Spark is the opposite end of the spectrum, the training level side, where our clients generally are active motorsports drivers who want a simulator that has high enough fidelity for them to be able to improve their skills from home. Because one of the challenges with racing is you can't really do it at your house unless you have a proper simulator. It's not like a professional basketball player who could have a basketball court inside his house to train. Racing, nobody has that type of thing at home. And so these simulators have become advanced enough, and that's what we specialize in, that you can develop your skills from the comfort of home.
Are you saying that you can order one on Amazon and they'll deliver it on the Prime truck?
We don't sell through Amazon. We sell direct to our clients.
Okay.
But yes, we actually do deliver. We take care of everything for our clients.
That's great. Now you talk about professional racers kind of tuning their skill set with this. Is this what the racers use off season?
Certainly, yes. So there's a broad spectrum for simulators, from the low end steering wheel and pedals that plugs right into your computer, or something more turnkey like we do, as well as the ultra end of the spectrum when you have a multi-million-dollar factory simulator. That's what they use in IndyCar and Formula One. We exist at the higher end of the at-home market for both professional drivers, enthusiasts, and aspiring drivers to have a simulator at home that they can actually train on, versus what we call a track memorization tool that you might just use to learn a track layout before you head to the track, but you're not actually using it to develop your skills.
I see. Now, is this so I know there's hardware involved. I know there's software involved. Is there, let's talk about an entry level price and then, you know, the premium model. And then is there also a subscription involved?
So for us, it is hardware, software, everything you can think of. We like to use the word turnkey, such that you can skip the research of which hardware to buy, which software to buy, how to get it to all work together, because there's a lot of time and energy that goes into building your own simulator. And at the end of the day, unfortunately, you're still likely to build a track memorization tool versus a driver training tool. So for our entry level, we start at just over $20,000. It is a fully turnkey single screen simulator with very high end hardware, all training quality hardware. At the top end of the spectrum, we have our S600 flagship model. This is not for everyone. It is an $86,000 full motion 6 degree of freedom simulator like there on screen with the triple 55-inch panoramic screens and unbelievably high-end hardware on the steering wheel and pedal side. And then, of course, we take care of all the software, making sure everything communicates cohesively. And then in the middle, we have our S300, which is a fully loaded static simulator, still very high-end hardware, triple panoramic screens. And this is for those motorsports people that want to make the most of their training at home, but don't need to spring for that motion model at 86,000.
Well, that's interesting information. Is it only, are the tracks, are they only road courses, or like the Hellcat? You'd probably take that more on a drag strip. Do you have drag strips as well?
We can find some drag strips. It's certainly not a specialty of ours because we specialize in road racing. But depending on what's available in the software, it's not all just road racing. There's oval tracks, there's circle tracks, and that gets into what type of software you're interested in racing, whether it's iRacing or another software we special in called rFactor 2. We like to cater the experience for each of our clients depending on what type of racing they like to do, whether they're an SCCA driver and we're partnered with them. We've worked with Ferrari Club and Porsche Club in the past, and each of those groups tends to specialize in different things.
Well, big shout out to Dan Dennehy Rodriguez over at the SCCA. He has been a guest here in the Dream Giveaway Garage as well.
Dan is a fantastic guy. I think he actually, if I'm remembering correctly, he linked up you and I maybe 6 or 8 months ago. I can't quite remember, but definitely shout out to Dan. He's a good friend.
Yeah, oh, good. Hi, Dan, if you're out there watching. All right, well, of course he's watching. Everybody watches the Dream Giveaway Garage Facebook channel. So we're talking about racers. Could amateur racers, could this work for them, or is it primarily for professional racers?
Most of our clients are actually amateur racers who are looking for a way to make the most of this hobby that they've invested in. Because just like golf, very few people get to race as much as they'd like, just like very few people get to go to the golf course as much as they'd like. And so when you are making that investment, but you're only getting to go to the track maybe 5, 10, 15 times a year, you might be showing up after not racing for a few weeks. You're not quite ready. And if you had a training level simulator at home, which is why our clients make the investment, you can get prepped ahead of time. You can show up at the track, whether you've been there before. You can show up at the track ready to push the car and ready to have some fun.
I saw something on your website. It said that these simulators allow users the opportunity to make low-cost mistakes. Do you mind expanding upon that?
Certainly. So as we all know, and especially with those cars behind you, if you put one of those cars in the wall, it's not a low cost mistake. Whatever the costs that come with it is your problem, I guess I'll call it. And so what a simulator can do is allow you to develop skills such as left foot braking if you'd like to do that. Practice your heel toe downshifting, for instance, if you have a Spec Miata. And the reset button on a simulator, you can hit it as many times as you'd like. And that's not to necessarily believe that simulators aren't real, because the skills that you can develop in a training level simulator translate to the track. So we're not encouraging making mistakes and being reckless. We're encouraging people to develop their skills, maybe move a little closer to their personal limit, so that when they get to the track, they're able to make corrections, feel the car a bit better, so that they're less likely to have those high cost mistakes that would happen if you're in a real car.
And also maintenance costs. You don't have to worry about fuel. You don't have to worry about tires. You don't have to worry about transportation to a track. All these things add up over the course of several years, don't they?
They do. Consumables are a huge part of racing. And when we do talk to people about the costs to invest in one of our simulators, either at 20, 44,000 or 86,000, they immediately start thinking, okay, I have this many track days per year. I spend this much per track day, this investment that'll last me multiple years in a simulator. It just makes sense because it'll help me maximize my time at the track. And we've actually taken that a step further. You might have seen the video on the homepage of our website with, he's now a friend of ours, Dion Von Mulkey. Again, another person we got linked up with through our friend Dan Dennehy Rodriguez. But Dion's a former professional driver, a Rolex 24 winner, and he's the co-founder and CEO of Blaze Coaching. And they specialize in affordable coaching from world-class coaches, such that you send them your onboard footage and they'll send you a video back. And they have some world-class drivers that do the coaching for them. They'll send you a video back recommending how you can improve your lap. They look at your inputs and your telemetry data, and they help you improve your skills from home. We are now their official simulator partner, and they are our official coaching partner, such that any simulator we sell comes with a year subscription to Blaze Coaching that you can upload from the simulator to improve from home throughout the year, so that when that SCCA season rolls back around, you've improved dramatically and you're ready to race.
Wow. You know, some of these vehicles, like the Cadillac, they have onboard track recorders. May you talk about the difference in the levels between that onboard track recorder and your in-home simulators?
Sure. So in a lot of ways, they're actually similar. Those onboard track recorders, such as on the Cadillac, they track your telemetry data and your speeds to the point where a coach can watch them and give you feedback on it. And in a race car, generally, you put in a third-party system of cameras and sensors. And on the simulator, we can do the same thing. We can have your telemetry data and your brake and throttle pressures that can all be mapped so that a professional coach can look at your simulator lap just like they'd look at your real world lap and give you feedback so that you can just put down lap after lap after lap, again, with no consumables, like you mentioned earlier, so that you can improve your skills very, very quickly for as many hours of the night as you want. We call it the time warp. And that's when you just get so locked into the simulator that a couple hours go by and you didn't even notice, because watching those lap times go down, improving that muscle memory and feeling yourself improving your skills, it is a great feeling. And you don't get to do that when you just go to the track once a month or twice a month.
And you never have to stop in the pit lane.
You don't have to stop in the pit lane. You can stop anywhere you want. You're right. And you can just walk away when it's time for dinner. There are numerous benefits to having a great simulator at home.
So I'm going to open up our Q&A with you here today to our studio audience. And our first question is from Larry West. And his question is, would a simulator from Spark Virtual Racing make a great Dream Giveaway Grand Prize? What are your thoughts on that?
I think it is a great idea. And to be upfront, you and I have talked about that in the past. So it certainly could be something that's coming up. We think it would be an amazing grand prize because we know you have a lot of motorsports people that talk to you.
Don't give away anything top secret. We do enough of that around here. Okay, and then Roger made the comment. PJ, you want to read that comment from Roger?
I think he reiterates what was said earlier, how to learn without dents and body damage.
Right. Well, that's a whole subject that we haven't even discussed. Not only the damage to a vehicle that can happen on an actual track, the damage to your body that can happen on an actual track, right?
Certainly. So it's the financial cost of a car, the medical costs that come with crashing.
Yeah.
And the more that you can develop your skills from home in a safe environment, the better off you are, because most people, and Dion mentions this in our video, it's 5, 10, maybe 15 track days a year at the most. And you don't want to get out there without being mentally prepped to put down your laps. Otherwise, you won't get the most out of it because you won't go anywhere near pushing the car. And then you're not necessarily having the most fun you could.
So I've got 2 more questions for you, and then we're going to ask you if there's a car here you'd like me to fire it up. We always let our guests pick a car, and then I'll run on over and fire it up for you. When someone is sitting in the simulator, can they pick the car that they're actually driving?
They can. So what we do for our clients is we ask them right up front for a list of the tracks and cars that they are most interested in driving. And what we do then is we grab them the nearest we can on the car side, because oftentimes it's the race version of a given car that's available in the simulator. However, we do have a GT3 RS that's very popular with our Porsche clients, so we often preload that into the simulator. We just preloaded our most recent simulator with a Trans Am level, which one was the model? It was a Camaro for our client there. And so we grab the nearest model to the car they drive that we can and upload the tracks ahead of time so that our clients can mix and match. And actually, one of the benefits is most people don't have a whole stable of race cars of different types. And so if you don't have a spec Miata and an open wheeler and a Trans Am car, the simulator is a way to learn performance driving on different levels of car, develop a broader skill set like professional drivers do as they come up through their careers, but not need to own those cars outright, because each of those cars comes with an expense, of course, such as an open wheel car, a spec Miata. And so you can actually learn those skills as if you had an entire suite of race cars from the comfort of home.
Matt, do these simulators, either the entry or your premium 600 model, do they plug into a 110 wall outlet, or are there particular electrical requirements?
We focus on things being as simple and seamless as possible. I know I mentioned the word turnkey before, and that goes beyond just making sure all the hardware plugs in. It makes sure that everything's calibrated beautifully and that the simulator is tuned well enough to be a training tool. And then at the end of the day, it needs to look beautiful and there shouldn't be wires all over the place. So on our end, we focus heavily on cable management like some computer builders do, and everything goes in. The entire system boils down to a wall outlet, and correct, it is just a 110. So no matter which level you buy from us, it can go into one outlet on your wall.
Wow. Okay, how can our audience learn more about
Re-
Spark Virtual Racing?
Feel free to reach out directly to me if you'd like. My email address is matt@drivesvr.com, or our website, www.drivesvr.com. You'll see our video with Rolex 24 winner Dion von Moltke right there. Dion actually didn't believe home simulators could be a training tool until we flew them up. So that's the strongest validation we've gotten for simulators that aren't track memorization tools. We make driver training tools so that you can become the best driver you can year-round from home.
Okay, you get to pick what I'm going to fire it up. What do you want me to fire up?
I think it has to be that Hellcat behind you. I think that's. I mean, it's
Cadillac, and the Hellcat's got a throaty sound. Come on, let's do it. I want to mention to you, Matt, check out the helmet up there. Signed by Leah Prude on one side, and signed by the legendary Big Daddy Don Garlits on the other side. Wow.
Does that come with the car?
It does.
Oh.
Okay. Let's see what we got here, guys. Wow. That was a whole lot of fun. You picked a good one there, Matt.
I'm glad I picked that, because as much as I love the Cadillac, I know it doesn't have 800 horsepower and it doesn't make that sound.
There you go. Hey, everybody out there, thanks for watching us today. And Matt McGivern of Spark Virtual Racing, thank you for being our special guest in the Dream Giveaway Garage. We'll see you guys tomorrow with more great fun, more great action, more great grand prize cars, and more celebrity guests like Matt McGivern of Spark Racing. We will see you guys next time in our favorite place on earth, the Dream Giveaway Garage. Matt, thanks for joining us.
Chris, PJ, thank you so much for having me. It's great to catch up.
Thanks.
See you guys next